In this video, I'll be talking about areas survey remnants of other worlds. This is an ultimate quest. This will only pop up if your character is at level 80. It doesn't matter if you got multiple characters, this is not account lock. This will only pop up if your particular character is at level 80. You'll see a difference on the screen right now. You'll see one of my characters that is level 75. Try to find this quest, she won't be able to see it, but then there's another character that will be able to see that quest. You had to be level 80 or level 80 depending on what class you're playing. If you're playing a successor, it gets a level 80. If you're playing main and sub, they both have to be at level 80 to run this quest. This quest is pretty straightforward. I'm not going to go into a lot of details about it, but I will have a link in the description that talks about what you are going to bump into, what can drop, and all that good sort. I did bring up this quest in another video, which is farming or how to get class cubes. This is the one particular quest where you can spam it at your own leisure to get class cubes. Now, it is RNG based. You might get 1, you might get 3, 4 in a run. You might not get anything at all, but the thing is you can spam this at your own time, and this is also a good quest to just get practice on and to actually use this particular boss as a training dummy, a training partner. Omega Masquerade. This is the boss I fell in love with the moment I got into this mode. Sadly, I cannot replicate the first time experience or reaction, but this quest is a 1v1. Granted that depending on which stage you're on, he will summon clones, but it's still technically a 1v1. You will most likely encounter him in episode 5 story, and there is a limited quest with this boss. The limited quest allows you to fight with a party against this particular boss. I can go into a lot of details and give a breakdown on how you can fight against him, but I won't do that. The link in the description will give you a good idea in general just to what he can do on certain stages and deaths and all that. But personally, in my opinion, it is better for you to go in blind and face him yourself. I will give a warning just in case if I do curse a bit, but this particular quest is unique. The reason why I say it's unique is because you can spam this at your own time and leisure, and this is someone you can always go back to, and you don't need to worry about like going to multiple areas to actually run to him. You don't need to actually fight against a bunch of mobs. You don't need to go to 3 areas. You can fight him there and then. Not only that, it's a 1v1. That will give you a lot of space and a lot of ways to actually work with this guy. Yes, it will become predictable. Yes, you will be able to actually beat the heck out of him with no issues whatsoever in due time, but that would take time and practice. And here's the thing. Once you get to that point, once you are familiar with his movesets, you'll be able to be familiar with the class that you're playing with, hopefully. You'll be able to know your range on your techniques and photon arts. You'll be able to know what you can do, what you can't do. You know the limitations. You know some of the things that you haven't really thought about, or you know the tempo of when you want to actually click that left mouse key or whatever button you're doing so you can do your just attacks. This guy is a good practice partner because he allows you to fight him. And even if you lose, for example, you will not have that counted against you. Your one trial is still your one trial. So let's say you're on your retry of 48. When you fight against him, you lose. You can't use a half dawn in this quest, but the thing is, once you reset that quest, you realize that you don't need to worry about it because you still got that 48 run. Now, if you do beat him, it's going to go down to 47. Overall, though, this guy is just a good practice partner. If you're not familiar with your class and you have it at level 80, go in here, fight against this guy. And once again, when it comes to this quest, it drops a lot of stuff. Now, I'll go into separate videos talking about mana rev and why it's important, but this quest can drop Persona Soul, Persona Reverie, and Fabulous Soul. Fabulous Soul and Persona Reverie are very important, especially if you want to try to make mana rev. However, the biggest thing out of this would be the class cubes. Let's say, for example, you don't want to hit level 95 for a particular class and, do the natural way and just fill up the XP bar to get your class cubes. You can spam this guy and he'll be able to drop, well, it's still RNG based once again, but he'll be able to drop a couple class cubes for you if you beat him. Even with the best gear, even with the highest level, and you dishing out the highest damage, and if you even have godlike affixes on your weapons and units, if you can't do well, if you don't know your class, you're not going to perform as well. This is very situational and debatable, but here's the thing. I've seen players who have good gear, but they don't know what to do exactly. Some people still don't even know how to actually charge up their attacks or photon arts when they're playing Braver Hunter or like a Braver using Katana. If you don't know what to do, then you need practice. You need to get that experience in. Yes, you could technically hire someone to actually do it for you or do some other wacky nonsense, but at the same time, it's like, if you're gonna do well, or if you want to do well in this game, you might as well get that experience. That can be said for a lot of things. That can be applicable to real life in a way. The footage you're watching right now, or have been watching, is just one of my characters playing around with Hunter at 12. I'm not a Hunter main, but this mode allows me to practice with Hunter, get a feel for it, understand what the photon arts, understand the movements and all that. I would have to state that I am doing this on the lowest level, and I'm also using a 12 as a sub. It's pretty goddamn good as a subclass, especially for like certain melee classes. But I'm getting my practice in, and I'm just playing around with Hunter, and I'm only doing this at the lowest level because, once again, with this particular character, he's actually a fighter. Well, he's going into fighter 12 now, but I'm just doing this for the X cubes, or the class cubes. All in all, this mode is great for practice. I cannot state if the 5 times a day restriction is in place, since I have been spamming death 1 around 10 times or so, but this is a quest you can do once you hit 80 main and or sub, excuse me. The 5 times clear might be referring to your progression, while you can still spam 50 times on any previous stage or so. If you know, let me know in the comments. That wraps up this video. I just wanted to highlight him, Omega Masquerade, because of 1, the practice you can get out of him, and secondly, the drops. The rest of this video will have my Phantom main Victoria fight on floor 47. You'll see her equipment and stuff before the fight. Enjoy the rest of this video. If you got any questions, comment, concerns, leave it down below. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.